you to open our Sunday morning celebration.
Thank you, Mary. Good
Thank
morning,
you.
everyone. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Whoa. Okay. How about this? Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, just knowing that Valentine's Day includes everyone in my book. So happy Valentine's Day to all of you, knowing that my heart of love is connecting with your heart of love and just giving such thanks for you. So welcome. This is the Center for Spiritual Living Delaware, and I'm the spiritual director, Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson. And I'm here to welcome you personally to our Sunday service and to the community, because truly what this is all about is not only the spiritual teachings that we offer, but it's about a network and a community of people who support one another in this evolutionary process and in doing great work in the world. So I'm personally welcoming you. And what I would like us to do next is something that is a declaration, really, of why we're here, that higher perspective. So if you'll repeat after me, I am that I am. The beloved God presence I am is moving through me and as me. I invoke the divine presence to fill every cell of my body with light, to surround me in a pillar of light, to fill all of my affairs with light. I allow the pure light and love of the divine to flow from me and move me, to be of highest service to all life. I joyfully bring love and light to all who enter my field of awareness, knowing my light contributes to the enlightenment of all. And so with that, let's accept it with a powerful "and so it is." Thank you. So now I would like to introduce to all of you our beloved music director and friend, Sharon Bousquet. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, all. How is everybody? Good to see you. Happy Valentine's Day. I was looking through the material for today and thinking, what can I do that is a sort of a general love song and addresses the fact that this is a day that we celebrate love every day, really. I wore my rainbow scarf. So I have a beautiful folk song by David Wilcox that I'd like to share with you. If you know it, sing along. You say you see no hope. You say you see no reason we should dream that the world would ever change. You're saying love is foolish to believe, 'cause there'll always be some crazy, an army or a knife to wake you from your daydream, put the fear back in your life. Look, if someone wrote a play just to glorify what's stronger than hate, would they not arrange the stage to look as if the hero came too late? He's almost in defeat. It's looking like the other side will win. So on the edge of every seat, from the moment the whole thing begins, it is love who mixed the mortar, and it's love who stacked these stones, and it's love who made the stage here, though it looks like we're alone. In this scene set in shadow, like the night is here to stay, there is hidden cast around us, but it's love that wrote the play. And in this darkness, love can show the way. Love shows the way. Well, now the stage is set. Feel your own heart beating in your chest. This life's not over yet. We get up on our feet and do our best. We play against the fear. We play against the reasons not to try. We're playing for the tears, burning in a happy angel's eyes. For it's love that mixed the mortar, and it's love who stacked these stones, and it's love who made the stage here. Though it looks like you're alone, it's in this scene set in shadow, like the night is here to stay. There are others cast around us, oh, but it's love that wrote the play. And in this darkness, love can show the way. It shows the way. Show the way, show the way. Love shows the way. Love shows the way. David Wilcox was pulled out of the back of the book. I have not done that one in a long time. So welcome, happy Valentine's Day. We have a beautiful service ahead for you. I would like to introduce our lovely Mary.
Thank you. I would like everyone to join me in prayer. Let us bow our head, close our eyes, and focus within. God is infinite love intelligence. The infinite spirit, the limitless consciousness of life, knowing itself, is God itself in each one of us. The one infinite being is within all people, living, moving, and awakening in our consciousness. The one indivisible wholeness of God is what I am, what each one of us are. All of us are children of the Most High. And now, this is my evocation. Let the mind of God be in me, in each one hearing this. Holy, 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 inner presence, great and mighty, inner light that shines divinely, inner life that lives completely, inner joy that smiles serenely, inner peace that flows so deeply, inner calm, untroubled, happy, inner love that gives so freely, inner truth that never fails me, inner power that holds securely, inner eye that sees so clearly, inner ear that hears spirit whispering, inner voice that speaks supremely, inner good that binds me to thee, holy, holy Spirit, God within me. I am thankful for this truth, for knowing this truth, for sharing this truth with each of you hearing these words. And I bless our time together. I bless each one who has been drawn to this time of celebration. I give thanks for the leadership of Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson, for all of our leaders who show up in sacred service, for all the beautiful music that Sharon brings to us today, for all of the technological support that Dan brings us, for all of those in service. I give great thanks for our time of celebration. And I let it be, and so it is. And now I would like to pass this on to Jen Lyons to give our announcements today.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, thank you. Good morning. My name's Jen Lyons, and I'm your host today. If you are joining us via Zoom for the first time, please let me know through the chat so I can personally welcome you and assist you with signing up for our newsletter. Sharon Bousquet will connect with those of you joining us on Facebook. Now I'd like to invite you to read our intention statement. We, the Center for Spiritual Living Delaware, are a welcoming, vibrant, inclusive spiritual community rooted in new thought, ancient wisdom principles. We are here to be the presence of love and to co-create heaven on earth, a world that works for all. I'm now going to read some announcements. Mary Ann Ruan is offering 3 Chanting for Love sessions in February. As you can see, here are the dates and the times and the Zoom meeting IDs. And check the website if you want more information on that. The regional men's group meets tomorrow, Monday, February 15th, from 7 to 9 p.m. The men's group is a group of spiritually centered men committed to helping each other along the path of enlightenment while exploring different ways of living an authentic, spiritually centered life. To participate, send an email to Mike at msavarese@verizon.net, and I will put that in the chat. Author, humorist, and practical philosopher Steve Barrowman, aka Swami Viyandananda, will be our guest speaker next Sunday, February 21st. We anticipate an inspiring presentation based on the book Deepak Chopra has called Spontaneous Evolution, Our Positive Future and a Way to Get There from Here, co-authored with noted cellular biologist Bruce Lipton. And the fun continues with Swami Viyandananda after service next Sunday in his play shop, Defying Gravity, from 1 to 2:30 p.m. on Zoom. The cost is $25 per person, but no one will be turned away and love donations are accepted. Purchase your ticket today on the CSLDE website. And good news for everyone, hiking is back starting March 7th. Brett Taylor will be leading a hiking trip the first Sunday of each month. Hikes will start at 2 p.m. More details on our first hike are coming soon. For details and Zoom links on all of our activities, please visit the CSL Delaware website under the Get Involved tab or the CSL Delaware newsletter in your email. And for those of you who do not know the email. I will put that in the chat room. And now I would like to introduce the beautiful, magnificent voice of angels, Sharon Bousquet.
Thank you, dear. I love you too. Someday we will be together again in this place behind me. This is our physical location, in case you all didn't know, if you're new here. I decided I'd put it up to remind us it really still exists. And we will get back there one day. This is a song by my favorite New Thought songwriter, Ricky Byers-Beckwith. For those of you who don't know her, you are in for a treat. Look her up, look up a playlist, or just let her run all day. She's an extraordinary writer and singer, songwriter, human being. This is Use Me. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, and God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine his light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine his light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine his light. God needs us to shine his light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Yay! Yay. She takes me places. I would like to turn the mic over to Marcy.
You. Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Delaware. Happy Valentine. Where's Dan? February One journey, many paths. The infinite invisible. Dan, Kristen. In going within, we do not turn to our own spirituality or our own goodness or our own strength or our own knowledge, but we go within to unleash the infinite invisible. Joel Goldsmith. Ernest Holmes, in The Creative Mind and Success, wrote, "We must become the thing we want. We must see it, think it, realize it before the creative power of mind can work it out for us." Ralph Waldo Emerson. When we have broken our God of tradition and ceased from our God of rhetoric, then may God fire the heart with his presence. Please join me in our affirmation for the day. With trust, joy, and delight, I let God be God in me. I now return us to Reverend Kathleen.
Michelle's not here, everybody, so I had to go unmute myself. Thank you so much, Marcy. So the infinite invisible. Why is it so important that we continue to go back to this truth over and over again? And my intention today is to show you why that is so important to every aspect of our lives. And this month, in fact, we are just focusing on the idea that there is only one power, one mountain with many paths, one tree with many branches, a great analogy for all of the different spiritual paths that there are. And yet there is truly one presence. And there's also one journey. Ultimately, it's the journey from the head to the heart, from thinking about God to experiencing God, that love that we feel in our hearts, that peace that we feel that washes over us, that delightful joy that we feel when we are in that space of looking for the good, and we're seeing it and we're feeling grateful for it. Those are all experiences of the infinite invisible presence, another name for this thing called God, the infinite invisible. It's also a journey from the illusion of separation to the truth of oneness. So the mystic path is what we're talking about. And the mystic path is what our teaching is really all about. It's about that direct experience, those feelings of love, peace, joy, gratefulness that are the signs of the presence of the divine. And it's also an awareness that the presence of the divine is in all things, in all places, all at the same time. That's this idea called oneness consciousness. So the timeless wisdom that I wanted to focus on today is really summarized so beautifully by Joel Goldsmith, who is a New Thought writer. He says, the painter paints, the dancer dances, the chef cooks, but what of the mystic, he says. He says, mystical living is not intellectually achieved. It's not just a thing of the head, as we just talked about. The mystic lives the mystical experience, and listen to this, by letting God be God as him or herself, letting God be God. This, to me, just conjures up the whole concept of allowing, relaxing, surrendering the old ideas of who we are and just relaxing in to the truth that we are. It's a very peaceful, wonderful feeling of letting God be God as us. There's no struggle in it. Do you feel that? It's a sense of relaxation and calm. Effortlessness is another way, ease and grace. So I love the idea that Joel Goldsmith said of unleashing the divine, that when we do our spiritual practice, it's not about being more peaceful. Ultimately, it's not about all these things that the ego thinks it's about. Ultimately, it's about unleashing the divine presence in, through, and as our lives. And all that entails more love, more peace, more joy, greater wisdom, greater creative flow, more inspiration, all of those amazing things, simply by letting God be God as us. And the truth is, and this is why this is just, this just helps us to be an easier concept to understand, is that since God is all there is, there's one mind, that's our mind. There's one cosmic heart, that's our heart. We are one, the one life individualized as each one of us, centers of divine operation. I've been recently reading a book called The Jesus Code by John Randolph Price, and his reminder is that even though we are the one life individualized, we are right here where we are is the whole of God, and at the essential level, at the level of essence. So when we go within and we meditate, we are in touch with the allness of God as our very own selves with a capital S. I know it's kind of mind-blowing to really take the whole thing in, but this is the mystical perspective, and this is the perspective that we are here for as a spiritual community. This year we're talking, so that was the timeless wisdom. This year we're also continuing to revisit the evolutionary vision of Centers for Spiritual Living, the greater organization that we belong to. And the piece that really matches what we're talking about today says, we see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with his or her highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other, a world in which individually and collectively, we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. So this is about the embodiment of this oneness consciousness and bringing it, therefore, into every activity that we are involved with. So action, it's consciousness that produces a certain quality, higher order of action. I think I've shared with all of you that this month, each Saturday of this month, as part of Black History Month, I am taking a course that's called Lead Like Martin Luther King. And so each week we are looking at the qualities of leadership in this great man that led a very powerful movement that changed things pretty dramatically. And knowing, yes, there is more change to be done, but it really did get the ball rolling. And so one of his talks that maybe is not as well known, but it's out there if you want to check it out on YouTube. It's called, What is Your Blueprint? What is your blueprint? And it is a beautiful talk that he did when he was in the city of Philadelphia to a middle school, a bunch of middle school students. And so he was talking in generic terms, and yet getting the point across of something that is a universal truth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share his 3 points of what is your divine blueprint, steps to express your divine blueprint. And I'm going to, well, he says, what is your blueprint? I'm going to be talking about your divine blueprint. So I'll give you a few excerpts from his talk, and then I'll share with you the science of mind perspective that I think really backs that up so beautifully. So he begins by talking about how a well-designed building has a very well-designed blueprint. We know this. It takes that the architect that takes the time and puts together the blueprint, thinks of all the little details. That is the map that is followed by all of the workers who begin to build the building up from scratch. And so he goes on to tell the students that you are worthy now. He tells them that you're pre-approved, and know that you are somebody, have a deep belief in your self-worth, and know that you have something significant to give to the world. So have a deep belief in your self-worth. Well, we know from the science of mind, the mystical perspective, and what I've just shared with you earlier, that our blueprint is a divine blueprint. It's designed by God. It's a beautiful blueprint. And in the book by John Randolph Price, he quotes the Pistis Sophia treatise of the Gnostics. And in this particular treatise, Jesus says, ye are all angels, all archangels, all of us. You are all angels. You are all archangels, all great invisibles, all great ones, emanations of the light with all their glory. That is what you are. That is what I am. That is what we are in truth. It's way beyond these physical bodies of what we are, these eternal emanations of the one light. So from that perspective, we can see that our worth is immeasurable. That we are all here and have very significant lives to live. And we're guided by the one universal mind that informs us as to what is ours to do, that one mind that is ours individualized. It doesn't mean that we're puppets, that we have to go around and do what the divine says. We have freedom of choice, but we are these amazing centers of divine operation. And so self-worth then is natural when we come from that perspective. When we come from that perspective of who we are in truth, we activate this thing called the divine blueprint in our lives. That is the bridging of heaven and earth, the consciousness of heaven and truth onto this plane. So knowing that, knowing who we are, engenders self-worth, and it activates that blueprint of who we are. And John Randolph Price goes on to say, if you could step back and look at your essence, you would see a blazing light, a field of infinite intelligence, power, wisdom, and love, fully present as you. So creation is at work all the time, in, through, and as us. That is our nature as individualizations of the one creator. We are creating all the time. I'm creating right now as I speak. You are creating as you think about what I'm saying and think about how to apply it to your own life. And so what Randolph points out is when we continue to remind each other of who we are and remind ourselves of who we are, we operate in a higher order. We produce a higher order of creation that is based on love. So there it is. Happy Valentine's Day. It's all about love. And this higher order of creation comes from that vibration of love. And it happens not only when we remember that the divine presence is individualized as us and within us, and that our minds are the minds of God. It also, that higher order of creation takes place when we envision. I was thinking about when we were saying our intention today, when we envision that we are the presence of love, co-creating heaven on earth, a world that works for all. We are operating in a higher order, and we are having a tremendous impact no matter what other people are thinking on the planet. Because I'm reminded by the work of Dr. David Hawkins that those who vibrate in love and above, love, peace, joy, and create from that place are so far exponentially powerful. There's tremendous power in those realms of being, of this oneness realm of being that we are in. I'm going to say not those, what we're in, what we're engaged in, that it offsets the negativity on the planet. And it's in the hundreds of thousands of people that we offset by, who are in the negative vibration, by operating in this realm. So a higher order is at work, a creation of a higher order. And he goes on to say something that I said a little bit earlier, that the eternal spirit, the primal power of the Almighty that dwells within us, is not just our higher nature. It is the allness of God that we are experiencing. And personality is simply the expression, the unique expression of this one life. And ego, I definitely want to go there and just share what that is all about. What we call the ego is really a thought form. It's a thought form based on separation, all the false beliefs that buy into the idea of separation from our good, separation from our truth, separation from each other. And these thought forms create fear. And they're created by the human mind. They're created by the human mind. It is a total illusion. That's the thing to come to the realization. And that is the mystical perspective, that this idea of separation is a total illusion, and it's dissolved every time we come back to the truth of every time we remind ourselves of the truth of the divine, the truth of who we are, of that one life, one source, one presence, one power. That is what our form of prayer does. It is a continual reminder of who we are and whose we are. And it is an opportunity to practice higher order creation from that state of mind. And so our role then is to be consciously aware of our divine reality, to speak and think our truth, and to envision heaven on earth, and to listen. And this is a very important piece. Listen continuously for the guidance and the inspiration that comes through moment to moment. And one of the tools that I use, and I'm sure I've shared this with you before, is on my phone, I have it programmed. I have this app called Mind Bell that hits a gong 3 times at the top of every hour. And Michelle and Dan have joined me in this. Whenever that goes off on my phone, we all stop and we all breathe. And so I invite you this week to do, if you do that, and I invite you to do that as a spiritual practice. It's something that you can do even if you have a very busy life. It's a way to fit meditation into your life and mindfulness in a really active way, I invite you to repeat this. I let God be God as me. I let God be God as me. So the second step to activating your blueprint, according to Martin Luther King, was have the determination to achieve excellence. Talked about excellence to these students, and it's just every bit as true about us. He said, be the best you, be the best you. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Let's unpack that. Excellence. Excellence is actually about setting a standard for ourselves of doing the extra. Just think about extraordinary, just doing that little bit of extra beyond the ordinary. It doesn't mean that we have to exhaust ourselves or burn ourselves out, but it's just always thinking about, well, what's the little extra that I can do to bring this higher order of being into my world. And the little bit of extra could simply be, like I said, taking time at the top of each hour to remember who you are. And then you're bringing, that's the little extra that then you're bringing into your life. And it also means this thing about achieving excellence, the determination to achieve excellence. It means listening within for your soul's calling, your heart's desire. What that does is it shows up as things that you're interested in or curious about. And as it grows, it becomes a burning desire, something that you would love to do or things that you love to do. And when we learn to listen, again, through the practice of meditation, and to just take a moment and stop and go into the silence when we have an important decision to make. And the practice of visioning is really for the purpose of activating that connection with divine inspiration and with the heart's desire and with the ways and the means to achieve that heart's desires. And it's really all based on being willing to transform our consciousness, to let go of that illusion of separation and to dwell in and live as, let God be God as us. I mean, that's the essence of it. Oneness consciousness. So when we catch a vision, this is what happens. It begins to build hope. Because if we're just focused on reality, so-called reality of this world, the conditions, we can lose hope, particularly with some of the things that we see through the media. So a vision then keeps us in the vibration of hope. And as we follow it, as we're pulled by the vision, it builds trust and faith. So that vision then ultimately leads to excellence, to being extraordinary, beyond the ordinary. One of the things that we did in the Lead Like Martin session yesterday was to get in touch with our vision, purpose, and mission as individuals. And I realized when we were given us an opportunity to do this, I realized that when I was in the process of this, of how intertwined my personal vision is with our center. And I, first of all, here's the difference. The vision is the what. What is it? What is the vision? The purpose is why that vision is important to us. And the mission is how it's going to happen. So here's what I came up with. My vision is to be the light of the world, be the presence of love, co-creating heaven on earth, a world that works for all. So I know that sounds really familiar to all of you, but that's what I see for myself personally. And why? Why is it? What the purpose? Why? I have to free humanity from the illusion of separation, fear, suffering, conflict, injustice, and hatred. And then the mission, how I'm going to accomplish that, to share the vision and the purpose with others, and also the means to achieve it, which is teaching spiritual principles and practices. And the final piece of my mission is collaborating with others to fulfill this purpose. So I invite you to take some time yourself. What is your vision? That's the what. What is it that you feel that you're here for? And why? Why is that vision so important to you? And the mission, how is it that you are going to carry that out? And then Martin Luther King ended this particular piece with, instead of burn, baby, burn, he said, build, baby, build. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. The key is to keep on moving. Keep moving forward. The final step to achieving our blueprint, according to Martin Luther King, was to commit to eternal principles. To commit to eternal principles. He talked about beauty, love, and justice. He said, don't allow anyone to cause you to hate, and take responsibility to make life better for everyone. This is the grand global perspective. So once you've come up with your vision and you have a determination to achieve excellence, and you know who you are, and you have a deep belief in your self-worth, it's time to commit to eternal principles and to take responsibility for making the world a better place. So it's bringing the mystical consciousness into this world, bringing heaven to earth. So I'd like to illustrate this with a story that I recently heard. It's a story about a grocery store that decided to do a training for all of its employees that would help them bring a greater quality of excellence into the workplace, and talked a lot about service and that being the presence of love and so on. And so all of the employees were encouraged to come up with some way that they uniquely could bring those qualities into their workplace. And so the manager was walking through the store and noticed that one line was really, really long. One of the checkout lines was really long. And meanwhile, there were only a couple people in the other checkout lines. And this was like a week later, a week after this training. And so out of curiosity, the manager kept watching and noticed that the checker put a little note inside each bag of the customers, and the customer would leave with a big smile on their face. And so out of curiosity, she went up to the checker, the cashier, and said, what is it that's going on here? What are you putting in their bags? And she said, they're love notes. What a beautiful story for Valentine's Day, right? Love notes. She was writing personal, individual love notes that she was putting in their bags, and people would wait in a long line just so they could get the love note. How beautiful is that? The cashier used her imagination and used the principle of love, to uplift the customers that came into that store. So when we're talking about bringing these principles into the world, that's a beautiful example. These can seem like everyday things that anybody could do. And so that's really what we're calling upon, or is being called upon here, by living principle, committing to eternal principles, is just to simply ask yourself, what is mine to do? How can I more fully bring this vibration of love into the world? So Ernest Holmes said, we must become the thing that we want. We must see it, think it, realize it, be the creative power of mind. Oh, before the creative power of mind can work it out for us. We must be it first. So if you want more abundance in your life, be abundance, share abundance. If you want more love in your life, be love. That means share love, express love. If you want more peace in your life, okay, be peace. Take time at the top of the hour and breathe and bring yourself back to that state of peace. So the mystical journey requires two major things. It requires your agreement to let God be God as you, and it requires your participation. That means being pulled by a vision, a purpose, a mission, committing to eternal principles to make the world a better place. And so I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to invite you to ask yourself, what is one thing that I can do today to nurture the awareness of the infinite invisible as my guide, partner, and beloved source? In other words, nurturing oneness consciousness. Find that one thing, do it with love and intention. And believe me, my friends, it will guide you to your next step and your next step and your next step, and unfold a life of a higher order. Happy Valentine's Day, sending my love to each and every one of you. And to this I say, and so it is. Namaste, our beloved Sharon Bousquet.
Thank you, Kathleen. Beautiful talk today. Appreciate it. I am letting God be God as me, out of the way, all my insecurity. I am letting God be God as me. I recognize God as God in you. I see through. We are God moving. We are here to be the heart, hands, the mind of God, the love of God will free. So I'm letting God be God, God as me, out of the way. Ideas I have believed, now I can hold you in a heart that's free. I am letting God be God as me. Holy light in my life and yours, a holy light living inside this voice that speaks of heaven without any words. Every life lifted, every heart stirred. Holy light, do you spin like a wheel? A sacred sight, close all eyes to heal. With the light of the Christ, for the conscious and the sleeping ones. This holy light comes, shining, shining, shining through us heart to heart. Shining, shining, faith renew us heart to heart, heart to heart. steady and clear, a holy light to make the path clear and call us to heaven without leaving this earth. It's our right from birth. Shining, we're shining, shining through us, heart to heart. God is shining, shining. Faith renew us, heart to heart, heart to heart. Thank you. I'd like to reintroduce our beautiful, bright Jen.
Thank you, Sharon. Gosh, gorgeous song. And thank you, Reverend Kathleen, for such an important message. Okay, so each week in 2021 at this time, the Social Justice Initiative Ministry shares a practice from the Association of Global New Thought for cultivating a nonviolent mindset. We learn to practice nonviolence one step at a time, one choice at a time, and one day at a time. Through our daily nonviolent choices and action, the noble and courageous spirit within each of us expresses itself as the skills, wisdom, and character of a nonviolent human being. This is how we each, in our own way, move the world in the direction of peace. This week's practice focuses on love. Gandhi wrote, "Nonviolence is based on the assumption that human nature unfailingly responds to the advances of love." Each day this week, focus on what you appreciate most about the person you like least. So the question presents itself, how do we do that? I want to share with you one of the ways that I practice it. What comes to me is the statement, hurt people hurt people. And when I know that when I have in my mind or in my voice or in my words or my actions to hurt someone else, it's because I am hurting. And the same is true when someone sends that energy my direction. So what I try to remember is I am confused when I have the idea that I want to hurt someone else. And when other people have that idea to hurt me or other human beings, they are coming from a place of confusion. So I see them as an innocent child, just very confused in that moment about who they are. And that helps me to have compassion for them, even though they may be hurting other human beings. And it helps me have compassion for myself when I know I have hurt other human beings. So just a suggestion, and Virgie also put into the chat the suggestion of metta meditation, which is loving kindness meditation, which many of you know about, but check out the chat for some resources. Okay, so it's now time to do the offertory blessing. If you receive inspiration today, then now is the time to give thanks and generously give to the good work of CSL Delaware. Imagine your intended offering in your hands and then place your hands over your heart and say with me our offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies this offering. The Spirit gives abundantly. I receive thankfully and give again generously. This is the bounty of God, and I send it forth with wisdom and joy. Divine love bountifully supplies and increases this offering. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving. To send your offerings by PayPal or check, see our website, homepage, or the newsletter. And thank you. Do you want to make a difference? Contribute to the CSL Delaware Benevolence Fund to support members who are financially challenged during this time of COVID-19. Mark your donation Benevolent Fund. And to receive financial support, contact a Board of Trustee member. Please write prayer in the chat if you desire after service prayer today with Mary. You can also send your prayer requests by phone or email to Peggy Frymoyer, and the practitioners will pay for you for 1 week. I would now like to introduce Sharon again. Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. So in 2013, I went to Peru. And when I was in Peru, I got this very, it kind of looks like a compass, sort of. But what it is it's a juice harp. It's a mouth harp. And I wanted to just begin this song. This is kind of a world music kind of a song that I can't really do that way by myself here. But I want you guys to listen to this cool sound. Now I'm going to give you my message. See if you can get it. If anybody gets this, tell me what you hear. Shoot, dropping my guitar. I love you. Did you hear it? Yay! I love you in juice harp. Happy Valentine's Day. We have another wonderful Ricky Byers song for you here. I am listening to the music of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a song God is singing. I will listen all day long. I will listen all day long. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah. I am lifted in the love of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a joy. God is being. Praise the Spirit all day long. Praise the Spirit all day long. Oh, Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. I am lifted in the love of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a joy God is being. Praise the Spirit all day long. Praise the Spirit all day long. I am moving to the rhythm of the Holy Spirit. The dance of life God inspires keeps me dancing. My faith is strong, keeps me dancing. My faith is strong. Oh yeah, oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. There's a silence in the stillness of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a light God is shining. Let us see it everywhere. Let us see it everywhere. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Yay! I love you all. Thank you. Thank you. We'll finish up with our sweet, beautiful, biggest heart on the planet, Reverend Dr. Kathleen.
Sorry, friends. I had to unmute again. Michelle's not here. Okay. Thank you so much, Sharon. I love that song. I love the message, and it seemed even more meaningful. I don't know how many of you noticed after the message today. I'm just really being able to take in those words of truth about who we are and whose we are. So let's just end with a powerful prayer, an affirmative prayer, and just repeat after me. Perfect God within me.
Perfect God within me.
Perfect life within me, which is God.
Perfect life within me, which is God.
Come forth into expression through me.
Come forth into expression through me.
As that which I am.
As that which I am.
Lead me ever on the path of all-inclusive love.
Lead me ever on the path of all-inclusive love.
And cause me to see.
And cause me to see.
The infinite good.
The infinite good.
Let's breathe. Remember to relax. Let God be God as us. And say together, yes. And so it is. Namaste, my friends. Have a beautiful Valentine.